Hello, Mr. Merkel here, and today we're going to be exploring playing the drums in the Essential Elements Book 1. So as you know, the percussion book has two sections, one part where you learn the mallets like the bells and the xylophone, and the other part where you learn how to play the drums. There are some specific fundamentals that are really key to your success in learning how to play the drums. And I want to make sure that I delve into those separately from the other things that we work on, because as a percussionist, there's so much responsibility expected of you. While other students in beginning band are learning to play one instrument at a time, you're learning to play two. And later on, you'll be playing a lot of other small percussion, the triangle, the cymbals, those sorts of things, as well as other large percussion like the timpani or the drum set. So making sure that you get a strong start in both the drums and in the keyboard instruments like the bells and mallets is key to your future success. So let's delve into those specific things that are going to make you a great drummer. We're looking at page 15 today, and we're going to be learning some songs that are in 3/4. So let's take a look at the drum part to number 67. Now, one of the unique things about playing drums is that you can play it while you count your part. And so I'm going to be counting some while I play, and I encourage you to try that too, since the instrument's not up to your face. Let's do a quick check of your technique. Make sure that you are holding the stick between the middle joint of your first finger and your thumb right there on both of your hands. Then you wrap the other fingers lightly around and turn the palms towards the floor. It's going to form a natural V. Now, I'm set up with my practice pad a little bit too high, but this is the best place that I could film this video. If I was really trying to perform, I would probably set this just a little bit lower, just beneath my belly button, or around the waistline would be a good place. So I'll probably be a little bit higher than normal just to avoid getting little clicks and stuff today, but normally I'd want to be just a little bit more relaxed with that. Okay? So the 3-beat jam, the rhythm that you have is 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 1, 2 tay, 3, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 1, 2 tay, 3, 1, 2 tay, 3, 1, 2 tay, 3, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 1. Now, there's a specific sticking that they want you to work on at this piece, because there is a rudiment called the double paradiddle. Now, hopefully you remember the regular single paradiddle, but if you don't, let's review that real fast. The single paradiddle is right, left, right, right, or left, right, left, left. So it is an alternating stroke followed by a diddle, which is two strokes from the same hand. Paradiddle, paradiddle. A double paradiddle starts out with two alternating strokes. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So there's two alternating strokes, then the diddle. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle. Okay, so you can say the rudiment's name right along with it. Let's go ahead and incorporate that sticking where they show us. And I think even though they don't show us the sticking for the rest of this exercise, it probably works best just to alternate sticking throughout this entire exercise, except for on the diddles. So let's try this together. Here we go. 1, ready, go. Right, left, right, left, right, right. 2 tay, 3. Left, right, left, right, left, left. 1, 2 tay, 3. 1, 2 tay, 3. 1, 2 tay, 3. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left. And that's how I would play that, okay? And eventually you'll get much faster at playing these different rudiments like the paradiddle and the double paradiddle. And in fact, a great resource that you should definitely check out is vicfirth.com. The maker of my favorite sticks here, Vic Firth. They have a wonderful website with an education section where Dr. John Wooten breaks down how to play all 40 of the essential rudiments, all 40 of the rudiments that we use in drumming. And in some of the videos, he uses a traditional grip where the left hand is turned over like this. And the reason that was first invented was when those sling drums they used to play that were tilted. You think back in colonial times, that helped you not to have to bend your wrist way far over. We still use it sometimes today, but mostly just because it looks cool. There's not really a great benefit to it, except that it looks really cool, and a lot of marching band snare drum lines still use that grip because of the way it looks. So if you watch some of those videos on Vic Firth, you're going to see Dr. John Wooten demonstrate some rudiments like this. I know that we've only worked on matched grips so far where both hands look the same. So don't worry about whether he does this or whether he does this. The sticking is still the same. How high the sticks are coming off the drum is still the same. And the way that you hold it will be the same as you see him holding it in his right hand all the time. Okay, so some of the rudiments he demonstrates with match grips, some with traditional, but don't worry, you can still get a lot out of those videos. And then for each rudiment, there are accompaniment tracks with achievement levels like bronze and silver and gold and platinum. And so you can try to see how fast you can eventually play these. And it's kind of mind-blowing if you're a young percussionist, how fast and clean many people, including Dr. John Wooten, can play these. So go check that out, be inspired, and then maybe one day you'll be one of the ones who can show off with how fast and clean you can play those exercises. But you gotta start out slow and accurate. Accuracy is speed in the beginning. Accuracy is so important. So make sure that you are doing it correctly. That's a lot of talking. Let's move on to number 68. That was important stuff, but that was a lot to process. So number 68, there is another rudiment called the flam accent. So again, hopefully you know how to play the flams, right? With a flam, you've got a low stick and a high stick. So one stick is in the up position, one stick is hovering just above the head. You drop them at the same time, and you notice that this stick is much louder, this stick is much softer, but this stick is going to hit before this one. So this is the main stroke right here. This is the little note that comes in right before the main stroke, right? And that's how you do a flam. Sorry about that. You can do a flam either way. A right flam is when the right stick is high, a left flam when the left stick is high. Now for a flam accent, which is, again, sort of the next step after just learning the flam and working on that. So you should go review the flam if you're not really comfortable with the flam to begin with. Then there's the flam accent and the flam tap. The flam accent, see, after you get done with the flam, your stick should be reversed. The stick that was low is now high, the stick that was high is now low. So if I want the next note to be accented, I want it to be strong, I've got to use the stick that is now high. So in flam accent, I'm going to do a flam, and the next stroke is going to be the stick that was high, so I get a strong stroke. So make sure that you pay attention to that rudiment. Now there's no exact sticking in barcarole, but we're going to try to follow along using, I'm going to do a right hand lead in the first 4 measures, and then I'm going to switch to a left hand lead because you want to work on both hands equally, especially if you're dominant, with your non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm naturally stronger with right-handed stuff, so I've got to work enough on my left hand, not just lean on my right hand to lead everything. So here we go. Barcarole, 1, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think some of my sticking was a little bit off there, so we're going to try that again. Here we go. And 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sometimes it's harder to count while you play, and so I've got to work on that too. But if you can count while you play, you have a greater understanding of how what you're playing relates to the beat. So even though it's a bit of a challenge and it's easier to just play, it's going to work on some things in your playing that not counting would let go. Another great tool to use in your playing is, of course, a metronome. To keep a steady beat for yourself, you can get a metronome app, you can buy a standalone metronome, but practicing with that steady beat is so crucial as a musician. All right, next we're going to look at exercise number 69. we're going to continue to use that same Flam accent rudiment in this piece. In fact, we see they've written in the sticking for us during the first 2 measures for a Flam accent sticking, and we're going to continue that same sticking into the 3rd measure. It's not as clear what sticking we should use for the remaining measures. I'm going to try to use what I think is going to work best and continue to have us do a Flam followed by the accent stroke. Okay, so here we go. Morning, and 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, so that's going to take us through morning, and again, we want to make sure we do that Flam accent sticking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, take 3, take 1, 2, 3, 1. All right. On to number 71. Now there's a new thing that was taught to us in 70, which is an accent. Now, when we think about accents from the standpoint of a wind player, we're going to really emphasize the beginning of the note, because on wind, there's a certain amount of sustain because we're continuing to blow air into the instruments. Okay, there is sustain on percussion, but we don't have too much control over it. A certain amount of control, but mostly you hit it and you're done with it. It rings however long it rings. So when we see an accent as a drummer, mostly that's going to mean you just need to strike the note louder, right? And that's going to create that big front to the note that we want an accent. It's going to emphasize the note. And we're going to actually see that in your playing by how high you bring your stick up. So whenever you have an accent, because if I want to play really loudly, I can't just start here and, if I start here, I'm going to naturally play louder because to stay in time, I'm going to have to travel more quickly with the front of my stick. So you actually usually see accents before you play them because your stick comes from further away to approach that accent. Likewise, when you get into some really cool cadences you might listen to a drum line play, a lot of times they're just playing even notes, maybe 8th notes or 16th notes. But what makes it sound neat is that they start to add in accents on certain ones of those notes. And all of a sudden you've got kind of a groove in there because of the accented notes. And so you could see that as I played that, my stick came up high just before each of the accented notes to allow me the speed, the velocity to strike the pad with a greater impact and create that accent. So we're going to see accents on percussion. We don't see them on a wind instrument, we just hear them. But we see them before they happen on all of the percussion instruments. All right, so let's do the Mexican clapping song. And our accents are even more accented here because not only do we have accented notes, but they're going to be rim shots. Now, sometimes in marching band, we do a rim shot where we try to strike the rim and the middle of the drum at the same time. And it makes almost like a gunshot kind of sound. For these rim shots, they've instructed us in the book to place the tip of the stick in the center of the drum, rest the stick on the rim and hold firmly. Strike the right stick about 1/3 of the way from the tip of the left stick. So that's another way to get a very similar sound. This is not quite as big as a snare drum head, so I'm going to go a little bit further than center. Okay, so that's how we're going to do those accents. I'm going to strike it with a lot of velocity because that's how we want to accent it, not just... Okay. All right. So here we go with the Mexican clapping song. 1, ready, go. 1, take, 2, take, 3, take. 1, take, 2, take. I was reading the maraca line. Sorry, I've got the score here. Oh, let me look at the snare part. More Flam accents here, right? Here we go. 1, ready, go. 1. Nope, not gonna do that either. 3rd time's the charm. And 1, ready, go. 1, 2, take 3. 1, 2, take 3.
A few moments later.
Yeah, it's going to be right hand lead for all of these because of that rhythm. Okay. Fourth time's a charm, maybe. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. I said a few wrong numbers in there, but I played it right. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Essential creativity, number 72. On the drums, you actually don't write your own part because the creativity part is not in the rhythm, but in the pitch. But on your mallet section, you get to write your own part on this one. But we have more flams. Here we don't do as many flam accents, we just do flams. And so when you have flams right back to back, let's go ahead and rotate which one we do. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and rotate which one we do. So we start with a right flam on beat 1, then a left flam on beat 2, then a right flam on beat 3, right? Because the stick that was high is now low, so it's set up for the next flam, right? And if you're wondering, I have my music book right over here. So if you keep seeing me look over here, ta-da, there it is. And my microphone is right over here. All right, so here we go with number 72, Essential Creativity. And 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, te forte. 1, 2, te forte. 1, 2, 3, te forte. 1, 2, te 3, te 4. And again, you saw me lift up my sticks higher for those last 3 strokes that are accented. You're going to see that. Well, that is page 15 in a nutshell. I didn't make too many mistakes, and hopefully I gave you a lot of good things to think about. So, work on your rudiments. Practice with a steady beat. Practice slowly and accurately. Go check out those free resources at vicfirth.com to get even more wonderful demonstrations of all these fundamentals of playing drums so you can be an awesome drummer that others are going to look up to, and that you're going to have a lot more fun the better you are at playing a percussion instrument. I'm going to make another video with the next page, but this has been page 15, and I hope that it helps. Have a great day.